Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. In the customer section, the next after lead center is this one: add credit card processing and link payment service to the company file. I'm not going to explain this to one. Why? Because these are not important as well. For the time being, why? Because I'm using the offline one, and this is especially used if we use a online system and credit, and we receive the payment through credit. So in order to, we can say, the payment should be safe, so we have to accept the rules and regulation of credit industry. I'm not going to explain this too, but directly I'm going to go for this enter time. Not only this two, I will not explain this one as well as the last one, right? So only this part is remaining from the customer section. What is the purpose of enter time? Enter time is used if we provide service for the customers on hourly basis or on time basis. If we provide service on hourly basis to the customers and we charge them, right? So here, if you want to provide service on hourly basis, first of all, you have to take you have to record the time. How much you have spent for the customers. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hour, 10, 6, 7 hour, how many hours you have spent, right? Under enter time, you can take the record of those times, how much time you have spent. You can record it in two ways. You can record it on single activity basis, or you can record it on weekly basis. First of all, let us say on single activity basis. First of all, you have to select the date. The second thing is the name. Name means here who provide the service for the customers. Let us say one of our employees by the name of, we can say, Abdul Rahim John Sarwari. Rahim John Sarwari is, for example, our employee. He is providing the service. He is providing for which customer? So you have to select the name of the customer. Let us say, for example, provide service for XXX. For whom? For XXX. Service. Which service he is providing? Suppose he is providing training service. How many hours he provide? For example, he will provide 20 hours. Otherwise, if you do not press this one, then you can start and stop, right? If you select this name as an employee of the business, so this payroll item also will appear. But if you select the vendor, this payroll will disappear. Why this is so? Because he is our employee and he will receive money from the business because of his service, right? So if there's no payroll already, you can create a payroll. Let's say payroll is on salary basis, and this is the regular, and this is, we can say, on monthly basis. On what basis? On monthly basis. Okay. Save this one and click next. Later on we'll discuss about this one. Whether it is taxable or whether it is billable or not. If it is billable, click yes. If it is not billable, click no. Right? Now let's yes. Click yes. Now click on the customer. Go on the customer section, create on the invoice. When you create on the invoice, then click on the customer. When you click on this, now it shows that the customer or job you have selected have outstanding billable time and or cost. Do you want to select this outstanding bill? It means now the QuickBook, if you remember previously also QuickBook had to give this one. But I was saying that I will explain it later on. Now it is a time to explain this one. Why the QuickBook gave this warning for us. QuickBook shows that this customer which you have selected, has a billable time. It means you have done some service for this customer on hourly basis. Do you want to charge for that one or not? If you want to say yes, click yes. Otherwise, click no. Previously, I was saying no. Now I am saying yes. When you click yes, there are 4 options. Not only time. See, time is available. Say yes, it's okay. I have spent, for example, 20 hours. For each hour 33. Total will be 660. But not only time, there are some other items as well. Expenses, for this customer there is no expense. Mileage, for this customer there is no mileage. An item, for this customer there is no item as well, right? Even I can create these things also for this customer. For the time being, for this customer we have only time. Let us close this one. Do not create this one either. Close this one as well. Let us, in order to create expenses as well as item for the customer, go for the vendor, go for enter bill. Collect a particular vendor for whatever, right? Cancel this one, yes. Then under expenses, select a particular expenses, let us say office supply, right? Let us say office supply. How much is the office supply? Amount is 1,000. This 1,000, if you remember, an exam also asks, for example, charge expenses or charge a bill, make a bill on for item as well as expenses and directly charge to the customer, right? If you remember. Now I'm going to directly charge the customer. Which customer? For example, XXX. As well as make some item. For example, we want to sell a screen for this customer. How many screen? For example, let us say, for example, 200 screen, right? And amount is 4,000. Directly, I want to charge is what to the customers. So close this one. Now go for the invoice once again. Collect the customer. Again, it says there the time expenses. Collect yes. Now time expenses. Do you have? Yes. Do you have expenses? You have. Do you have mileage? You have mileage as well. Expenses. How much expenses? 1,000 expenses. Mileage, items, 4,000, 8,800. And time, of course, there's a time. But only one thing we don't have, that is mileage. We can create mileage as well. How can you create mileage? So clear this one. Go for the company, right? Click on enter vehicle mileage. Click on this one. Then under the vehicle, if there is no vehicle, you have to first register the vehicle, right? Vehicle, for example, let us say BMW. Suppose this is name of our vehicle, right? Trip started date, trip is ended date. What is basically, first of all, the purpose of this one? This mileage. Mileage means, for example, if you have offered your vehicle for some people and you want to charge it based on mile basis or based on kilometer basis, right? So if this is so you can charge also this one with the QuickBook. A starting trip, ending trip, or odometer start, odometer we can say ends, or kilometer start, kilometer ends. Let us leave these options. Let us say, for example, I have, we can say, drive for 120 mile for this customer. For which customer? You can select name of the customer XXX, right? Under the item, you have to create a service item. What item? Service item. You have to create a service item. Click service. Name of the service should be mileage. Should be what? Should be mileage. Why it should be mileage? Because why? First of all, we have to create this one. We want to create this one, that how much we have to charge on each mile, or for each mile how much we have to charge. For this purpose, first of all, we have to create an item, right? So once again, click on this one, create the new, select the service. Here you have to mention mileage. But under the rate, mention the rate. For example, we want to charge 250, for example, per mile. Whether it is taxable or not, otherwise it's okay. So under the account, of course, link it one account. That, for example, we want to link it to sales account. No, sales account to something else, to other income account, for example. If there is other income account, the other income, right? Save this one, save and close. Now it should be taxable, and close this one. Now click once again the previous customer by the name of X. Say yes. Do you have time? Yes, we have time. Do you have expenses? You have expenses. Now, do you have mileage? Yes. 120 mile to 220 is charged for each of this one. And why this is so? Because this customer is 10% extra. For other customers, it was 250. I think for this one, 10% extra was 275. Rate of this customer is high. See, rate of this customer is high. That is why it is more, right? So in this way, click once again. Bill, yes, for this one, for the expenses also bill, for the mileage also bill, for this one also bill. Click all of them. So all those expenses, time expenses, other expenses, for example, items, for example, mileage, if you have done for a particular customer, you can create it on the device, right? So if you click on this one, QuickBook asks, provide the email. Click this one as Antec, then save it so you can create it, right? So this was the purpose of, we can say, enter time, which is for single activity.